Welcome to the Pass the Controller podcast. I am Matt, joined as usual by Doc.
Hello.
And we talk about video games. So, today, I know that we said we were going to talk about the Paladin's Quast at the end, but let's just get that over with now.
Okay.
Just get that over with now.
Just get that over with. Just get it over with.
Which is pretty much what I was thinking the entire time I was playing that game.
You just turned it on, and from the opening screen where it said new game, continue, and demo, you're just like, fuck this game.
Pretty much, yeah.
You just looked at the cover art and you're like, ah.
I will say, it has the fact that it is a game going for it.
I actually like the cover art. But then again...
I haven't seen the cover art.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. So...
Actually,
I have seen the cover art for it. I just haven't. It's been a while.
Oh, okay.
So
when you turned on the game, and you pressed the buttons, what did you think?
Well, first I thought, why? Dear God, why? And then I thought, oh no, it just got worse. So, right off the bat, it's not like a game that jumps you into playing at all. It's like a typical RPG, likes to kind of ease you into things a little bit, start you off with a little conversation in broken English at best. And the story seems like it was written by some, like, not 3-year-old, I won't insult, I'm sorry. Some, like, 12-year-old, like, fanfic writer who's like trying to do his best to write
John
the new Final
Freeman,
Fantasy game.
Who was one day in office.
And then John Freeman. That's like the funniest thing on the internet. I still think that's hilarious. And then John Freeman and Gordon Freeman saved the world.
And then Chesney Freeman went up tower. The hug tower.
Ruffles. Oh my goodness. That's pretty much how that game is written. It is so bad. And so I'm like, okay. So, right, I think the first time I actually ended up... I have played this game before, Doc.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I played it with you. Yeah, you subjected to me this before.
I don't remember this.
But I remember... Yeah, it's because it was very brief, and I could tell what a terrible, terrible game it was real quick.
Didn't I try to put that shit in, and you just, like, reached over with your shoe and hit my Super Nintendo?
I should have. I really wish I did.
Oh,
but
no,
I was
flip-flops.
like, fine. I have a sense of humor for bad games. I enjoy the poorly made game, but there is not anything even funny about how bad that game is.
Oh, on the contrary, it's goddamn hilarious.
Actually. It is, but here's the thing, like, you have to, like, it's funny in the way, like, if you think getting punched in the arm is funny.
It's funny in the sense that you want to make other people play it, just to see how badly they react.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the poor translation and writing is just top-notch.
It's like finding something gross in your fridge, so you go around and make everyone smell it.
Yeah.
It's amazing, smell it.
So, like, the first time when I played it, we wandered around a bit, and then eventually went up the tower. But I remembered this time to go directly to the tower. So I went directly to that tower, and I walked up it, and, so basically you almost immediately fight this gigantic boss that you have no chance against.
Dahlgren.
So you automatically lose to him. Meanwhile, I discovered a little, interesting quirk the game has. It's a game where your main character is a magic user. There's no MP bar, but instead it just takes away your HP.
Yes.
So it has that going for it.
Actually, one of the characters in the game will comment on that. You're just like, oh, well, they act as if you asked them about magic points. They're like, what's this magic points? We only have hit points here. So they jump out of the fourth wall at you a little bit.
The game, I think it's a cool idea on paper, taking away HP.
Yeah.
Instead of MP, but the way that they do it, not a big fan.
No. Because at the start, it takes a lot to use magic.
Yep. By the way, your physical attack does like 1 damage, and your magic does about 30.
You should probably equip like a poorly named weapon. KN
Oh,
is a good choice. Also,
yeah.
KNBTS are pretty good too. Also,
Oh, yes.
HDFBG.
Oh, dude, the game is just like the menu. Can I talk about the menu system?
Yes, you can. Can we talk about
What?
the menu sound?
Why even?
Bah!
Like so in most RPGs you use the D-pad or the analog stick to select your move and then you hit X to confirm. That doesn't work. You hit the right and it picks the right option. It just automatically picks it for you and you think, "Oh, well, oh, I accidentally hit that. Let me just go back." There is no going back. You have to go through the entire process like this 3-step process and then you have to pick your buddy's moves, and that's another 3 steps, and then it confirms, oh yeah, hey, did you sure this is what you want to do? And then, if you say no, you have to then click the direction where your guy's name pops up, and then do the entire process over again. So yeah, that was
Now, see,
necessary.
I actually understand why they did that.
Okay.
Except it's done much, much better in that same reasoning. Is a lot of Japanese RPGs are designed, turn-based
Hmm.
RPGs are designed so that you can operate them with one hand. It's like usually your left
That's
hand. Usually,
what are you using your right hand for, Doc?
huh?
What what's in these Japanese
Well,
RPGs
this one, face
that you
palming
would?
really hard.
Oh.
You need a hand for that. The other ones, I stuffing your face with Cheetos, maybe? No orange dust everywhere. Okay. But they're meant to be operated with one hand, and Capcom actually created a controller specifically for that. But
I see.
regardless, say Earthbound, you can actually investigate things with the L button and just use the D-pad. And when you want to open a menu, you can reach over and hit select. So you can be the laziest motherfucker and just lay down and not have both hands up there. Just lay there and do
I see.
nothing. But in this case, they decided to, instead of making L confirm, they just.
Yes, it did.
Yes, that one.
All over my
It
face.
could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could use that same sort of menu system, but implement it a little bit better, and it would be cool. But they just, like the rest of this game, fell tragically short.
Yeah, I mean the when the name pops up, that's cool.
That
It's like
is.
da 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 da, and it's like Paladin, and then like the name, the letters all flip in, and it's like whoa,
You know what
this is
also did that?
advanced. Mm-hmm.
At around the same time, if I'm not mistaken. If
And
not. Huh?
let me finish my question or my comment here,
Oh.
Doc. It just seems to me like they spent their entire budget on that. Okay, now you can go. That
Okay.
was I was making a joke,
Okay.
but
I see. But you didn't look at the intro mode, did you? The demo on the main screen, if so
no.
would say. Oh,
Should I have?
it's worth a look into it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's evidently what they wrote first, and then they're just like, "Yep, we just blew our entire budget on this. Fuck it."
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the time, everyone spun around in office chairs and occasionally kicked the keyboard. But yeah,
That's a
another game that came out maybe around there that had that same sort of intro screen that appeared after a while.
mm-hmm.
Breath of Fire 2. Guess
Really.
what's also a much, much better game?
Let me guess. Everything.
Yes, but Breath of Fire 2 also has a tragically bad translation, but I'm willing to forgive it in the case
Yeah, but
of the rest of the game being fucking amazing.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna. That's just like that's like watching like a kung fu movie, like with Bruce Lee or something where it's like translated, and it's like the lip sync doesn't match up, and it's kind of like it has a charm to it then,
Oh yeah,
because but behind it there's a solid movie. There's solid fight scenes, right?
and there's
The
motherfucking Bruce
Paladin's
Lee.
Quest is a game that's backed by like pudding.
Oh, and I'm going to assume that you've made it. Let's see. This isn't even fair. I can't even pull that on the audience. You made it to that house that's on the bottom continent, and there's some
No,
motherfucker in there with a bow, and he don't like you.
No.
And
He's
you lost there.
no. He's the bow was cool. I actually got the guy.
Oh.
Joined my party, and we went to. We almost made it. I almost made it to the place I was supposed to go, but I died in the forest on the way back.
Oh.
Because after the goblin mob attacks you, they don't heal you.
Right.
Douchebags.
Let's see.
It's like, why would they not do that?
But
Oh, it's
okay. Here's another aspect of the game that you might not have understood because it's not printed in English. Is attached to each character's belt area, there are things. And
they have a belt area.
they have a belt area. Each one of those little parts on the menu that you can attack with is an equipment. It's like something equipped on your head. Yes, you can hit them
it's
with
funny
your
you
helmet.
mentioned that. I actually accidentally healed my bow guy somehow, and I tried to do it again on my character. I couldn't figure out what I hit to do it.
But they have a belt equipment, and on most of those, it's something called a mini bottle, which is MNBTGFX, and you'll know it by the X9.
How else do you spell mini bottle?
With lots of N's.
Some vowels, maybe.
Yes, that one. But
can I buy a vowel, Alex? Wait, that's not Alex. Who does Wheel of Fortune?
the guy that does Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. I play
him.
video games, not on TV game. His name is Fortune, and that's his wheel.
It's my mistress.
And he speaks and applause.
No, that's Paladin's Quest.
Yeah, that's Paladin's Quest is Wheel of Fortune. They both suck.
Yep.
Alright, but on the belt area of each character there are healing items. And some people, instead of healing items, actually have hand grenades. And that's whatever, I suppose.
I'm sorry. Can we just put this in reverse? Boop, boop, boop. Tsh, beep, beep, tsh. What?
Hand grenades.
They have hand. Please tell me that the hand grenades don't activate when you click them outside of a battle.
No, you just whip a hand grenade at somebody in battle, and it does a ludicrous amount of damage.
Okay. See, I was thinking like you would click it out of battle and it would just blow up and then you would die.
No, it's not that poorly
That's
designed.
the kind of game it is.
It's actually completable, and I have beaten it. It was not the most enjoyable experience, but it's enough that I have some form of nostalgia for it. I will tell you that you have not even remotely closely gotten to the worst part of the game yet.
Oh, I'm sure. That game was like... That was like a train, and then like you look down and you can see that the edge of the tracks are no longer there. And you know that train is just going to go flying. And I jumped out before it got to the edge. Because I knew that was going to crash and burn. I could just tell. You could just tell by the first half an hour how that game's going to go down.
Oh, yeah. Surprisingly enough, they got the funding for another one. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't strive for dead air on this podcast, but a moment of silence, please.
What?
Would you like to know something even more interesting? If I recall, it did not suck.
What?
Yeah, that's it was never released in the States. It was called Lennis 2.
I'm sorry.
And it did not suck.
The sequel to Paladin's Quest is called Lennis 2.
Yeah, this was Paladin's Quest was only called Paladin's Quest
because of America.
Yeah. It was also it was called Lennis after the place that it exists in. Your adventure is taking place in the planet, so to speak, of Lennis. Which actually, if you get through all of the bullshit translation and all of that, a really nifty place.
Yeah,
So maybe one of these times I will send you Lennis 2 and you can redeem it a bit.
maybe. It's going to be very hard.
Mm. But I believe that's all we've got to say about
Yeah,
that.
I actually, I'd like to say a couple things.
Hmm.
One, that game's on the Super Nintendo. It sounds and looks like it should be on the regular Nintendo, and it also sounds like the soundtrack was made by like a cat. Just dun 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 dun. That's
Can I mention that I actually enjoy the boss theme though? Just because
listen,
it's got like that weird, I don't know, 80s
listen.
flair to it that's ridiculous.
It's cool. Don't it's that's fine. But the rest of the music it makes me want to just like punch my face against the cartridge.
Well, yeah, the disaster theme is pretty awful. The rest of it though, it just has this weird quality to it that, I mean, they
It looks like
composed the
it belongs.
music. No, not look. You don't look at the music.
I was moving on to graphics,
Oh,
but continue with your music.
I'm in the middle of music. Okay. But like it's got a weird filter over the entire thing that just makes it sound like you're playing the audio from the Super Nintendo through a tuba that's got a pillow shoved in it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
graphics,
Yep.
your forte.
It looks like it pretty much belongs on the NES. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's probably a little bit more colorful than what you could pull off on the NES, but it still looks like it belongs on the NES. Which, listen, graphics not the most important, and I guess even music not the most important thing. It comes on gameplay.
No.
That game is just a rotten turd all around.
It's not very good. Which is
Nope.
why I made you play it.
Thank you, Doc.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that experience.
Merry
I
Birthmas.
will.
So, are we going to...
We can talk about whatever topic you would like to talk about, Doc.
Oh, really? But I was
Yes.
just going to say, would you like me to wait until the end of the episode to let you know what awful, awful thing you're going to be playing next?
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll wait till the
Let's-
end. Keep everyone in
Let's
suspense.
hold that off until last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we go into Doc's Chalk Talk about certain things that are going on and with a certain series of games being perhaps announced?
That's not
Maybe
fair.
a new iteration.
It's not fair. It really isn't. Okay, so,
There's-
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, there's several actually. Okay, now which one are we going to talk about first here?
But I don't want to talk about one of them. It's
Let's
her.
talk about the one you do want to talk about.
Okay,
Then.
the
Let's
one.
talk about Persona.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah. We're gonna...
That's what I was hinting at. I forgot about the other thing.
Oh.
I'm trying to block it out of my memory.
This
really.
one series of games you once liked, it's gonna have a thing like Dark Souls 2! Ooh! No. No, we already know about that. But, Persona, yeah. So, Atlas, having been part of Index Corporation, and them having some wonderful shady dealings, got bought by Sega Sammy. But that's already a long, long time ago. So,
Yeah.
those of us who very much like Atlas's business practices of bringing us fun RPGs to play, and just
Yep.
weird offbeat shit, were worried that maybe they wouldn't be able to bring things to the States anymore, or
Can
maybe...
I just interject?
Huh.
Sega is the king of weird crap. Look what they did to Sonic.
But you're talking about Sega, not Sega Sammy.
Oh, touche. Continue.
Okay, Sega Sammy is the overall holding of
Yeah, I
Sega
know.
themselves. So, now you derail me. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Dead air. Alright, so I was talking, they had, so Atlas got bought out by Sega Sammy,
Sega.
who
Mhm.
we were under the impression that they would no longer be able to bring such wonderful RPGs to the United States and parts of Europe and Australia maybe. But instead,
Good eye.
a couple days ago, or yesterday, they announced that most of what they're going to release so far is going to be released in the States. They've got release dates for all of it. So
Yay.
that's pretty fantastic.
You too can now play your weird octopus RPG with little schoolgirls. Yay.
You know, I sent you a copy of that should have gotten there today.
Wait, does that game seriously have octopuses and schoolgirls?
No.
Okay. I
That game
was like,
has
what?
interesting and fun, not weird and...
Good.
It's
Japan?
really, really well written. Like, I
I'm
wouldn't... I'll just go on forever and ever. Persona
Yeah,
4 is
you've been
fantastic.
talking it up, so I'm pretty excited to play it. I still got a whole bunch of other crap to get through, but I think I'm gonna push that kind of to the forefront
Yeah.
alongside with Mario.
Yeah.
'Cause Mario is so good.
But that goes to... I just want to take a look at this at the same time. Usually the team that works on Persona works on one game at a time. And that's the entirety of the Shin Megami Tensei series. They work on one at a time because they just don't have the team to work on a whole bunch. Well, now we have them working on Persona Q, which is on the 3DS. They have something that's going on the Vita, which I believe is a rhythm game based on Persona 4, which surprisingly looks interesting. It reminds me of Elite Beat Agents a bit. But and then we have Persona 5, which is going to be a massive scoped game, and
Coming out on the PS3,
yes,
which is cool
that is cool.
because I have one of those.
And then they also have Persona 4, the Ultimate Ultra Suplex Hold.
They're milking Persona 4.
They are. It's actually a pretty good universe to set things in.
Is it like Final Fantasy? We're all in like different universes.
No, well, 1 and 2, both parts of 2, occurred in different universes per se, in that the events didn't really go through. They're in the same area, but the events didn't really make a big
Impact.
Yeah. 3 and 4
like an
are
alternate.
in the same world. They intersect at points.
Okay.
But yeah. And
Interesting.
I guess that's all I've got to say on this particular topic, because you haven't, to my knowledge, played any of them.
Not at all.
No.
But soon.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the game that you make me play?
No.
Aww. Please?
No.
Aww.
No.
Oh my goodness.
We want to play shitty games, not... We want to objectively look at shitty games, not for you to sit there and be like, yeah, it's so much fun.
Yep.
We want to look at shit games and understand why they're shit, so we don't make shit games.
Yeah. Yep. Can I just look at good games and be like, yes, that's how you do it?
No.
Oh.
Because you can't look at it and say, where did they fuck up? I gotta make sure not to do that.
Oh, man. Yep. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much. Let's talk about Legend of Mana. I mean, the Mana series. I mean, the new Mana game. That's out on the... That's out on your phone and is free to play. Let's talk about that.
Let's give a little bit of an indication as to what the hell we're talking about first, instead of stuttering. So, Square Enix, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to bring back the Mana series again.
We praise thee.
And they ended the last one with a cell phone game, and it was just nothing for a long time. This is back before like smartphones, so you had beep boop Nokia.
Beep boop.
And before that, we got the wonderful trio of things set in the world of Mana, which just no, they failed on so many different levels. Each one, Heroes of Mana could have been good, but it just didn't work. So it just disappeared for the longest time. And for those that know me and may have seen my avatar on various places, I don't know, malfunction when I hear that there's something related to the Mana series going on.
Yep.
I fucking love it.
Well, it's the best series ever.
It is. It's wonderful.
Half of it is. The first 3, and then just the other ones, Not the first 3.
What are you talking about?
It's the first 4. I don't know. It's a weird series, because it started off as Final Fantasy...
5. Final Fantasy Adventure.
Adventure?
Yep.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Adventure, then it was Secret of Mana, then it was Secret of Mana 2, and then there was Legend of Mana.
Yeah, there was no Secret of Mana
And then
2.
Suck.
There was Psyche 3. But yeah, we didn't get that one.
Because Sword of Mana was...
Psyche 1. Yeah, that was
yeah, it's
Final
just like
Fantasy
a remake
Adventure.
on the Game Boy Advance, right?
It was really good, though. Yeah.
Yes, it is. I like it. It's fun. It's good.
So for the longest time, we didn't get anything. And to bring that to today's topic, they announced a new one, Rise of Mana. Which, honestly, why would you do that to us?
First of all, let's start off with the good. Game looks awesome.
The game looks fucking amazing.
Looks so good.
They even open with the boss from Psyche 3, the giant crab monster. It's amazing.
Can I just say something though, Doc?
Yeah.
It is very Legend of Mana-y.
It's like, very all Mana-y.
You can see... No, I mean, like, there's specific places in, like, that they use from Legend of Mana. Like, Snowfig Fields. I think that the town that he was in was Domina. Of course, you got the little cactus guy. I don't know if he ever makes an appearance in Secret of Mana or not.
No, he makes an appearance in Sword of Mana.
Oh, really? Does he?
Yeah, the cactus house is in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And really, just saying something's from Legend of Mana, they carry the same vibe across the entire series.
The snow level I saw was just like instant nostalgia rush. I was like, yep, that's it. Because like even the hills are exactly the same in the other one. I will say that I don't like the character models for the humans or whatever those two things were at the beginning.
I'm not entirely positive. No. I'm not a big fan of those two. No, but
they're like almost remind me of like My Sims. Like, I was like, oh no. But then I saw a little cactus and I was like, okay. And I saw Niccolo and I was like, okay.
That son of a bitch,
game, you
Niccolo.
got me again.
Now, here's the beef with it. So, it's being made by Square Enix, which is actually recently kind of a pro. They've been not too bad as of recently.
They're still holding on to Lightning.
That's actually something I was going to refer to in there, not too bad, is evidently that game does not suck. Evidently, that game is pretty good.
Yeah.
And they just made Bravely Default. They
about the new Final Fantasy.
Okay, hang on, because we're still.
Okay, no, go ahead.
They just released Bravely Default, which makes up for every bad shit they've ever done. It's wonderful.
They've been able to do pretty decent on the handheld market recently.
Yeah.
It's the console releases that they've gone bonkers over.
Yeah.
And also all that crap on the iPhone. This is where the problem starts to arise with this game because it's a free-to-play game.
Released on Android and iOS.
iOS. Which means that there will be in-app purchases. Which, knowing Square Enix's history in in-app purchases, there will be about 1,000 of them, and the game will be absolutely unplayable unless you spend $5 million on the game.
What are we referring to here?
That one Final Fantasy game. I can't think of what it's called. What is it called? The one that lets you have like 50 characters on screen. What's it called? I'll look it up. Hang on.
Okay, so while he looks it up,
BRB.
I'll vamp a little bit.
Go for it.
In terms of them developing mobile games, they haven't had the greatest of track records with that, starting with actually the port of Secret of Mana to the iOS platform. And you start to see that you can't really control something of that nature with the touchscreen accurately. It's very difficult to play. It's, to some extent, unfun to play. And then they furthermore went and released Final Fantasy III, Final Fantasy 5 and 6 as of recently, all of which have their own sort of issues. They don't really have the greatest of track records with cell phone games.
Nope, not at all.
I guess Crystal Chronicles, Crystal Defenders was alright to it, but
found it.
But
continue.
Yeah. I guess Crystal Defenders was alright, but that's provided you like tower defense games, and I don't. So
I believe the game I'm referring to is Final Fantasy All the Bravest.
That would be it. That shit got panned so hard.
Yeah, it's pretty bollocks, to be honest. Oh my goodness.
So we have this track record that's being developed here. And
This,
they want to release this
yeah.
on the phone as a free-to-play game. So,
This is a game that I would throw. What do they charge for a new 3DS game? 40,
$38.99.
38. I would throw $60 at them if they put it on the 3DS.
You hearing that?
Because it looks so good and it looks like it has potential. If they didn't have the in-app purchases, if it was just straight up, you know what? If they made just anything that was playable on the 3DS, I would throw money at them. Because I want a new Mana game so bad, and it's like, this one looks so good, but like I can't just say, well, if they just threw it on the 3DS, because I can guarantee you that those in-app purchases are completely intertwined with that game.
Well,
So it's
I
not like you can be like, if you just take those out and put it on the 3DS, it's not gonna.
I have this vague feeling that they're going to be related to weapons in some way based on the trailer.
Yeah,
So,
maybe also if you didn't notice, there was a tree guy who runs the orchard in Legend of Mana.
mhm.
So maybe like you can get different seeds to train monsters better. Because I have a feeling they're going Legend of Mana 2 kind of on this.
It looks, well, I don't know.
I could be completely wrong. It's hard to tell. It's like a 1
But
minute
you're also like
trailer.
just referring to Legend of Mana as if it gets set apart from the rest of the series, as if there's enough.
It is.
Well, not
It's
really.
well, it's not the same story wise, and it's got a lot of new features in it.
Then what makes it a Mana game?
The fact that they put mana at the end of it, and it has mana monsters and characters, and it, I don't know. It's the oddball, isn't it? It's the odd child in the series.
No, that's those last three.
Yep. No, but seriously, like even the battle system is different
Kind
in
of.
Legend of Mana. So, what I think it's gonna be is I think it's gonna be kind of it's gonna have like, well, at least I could be wrong. You're right, but I hope it kind of is. It's kind of like it has all like that cool nifty extra stuff from Legend of Mana, but it kind of has like the gameplay of Secret of Mana, and I think if they mix that together, it'd be kind of pretty awesome.
I also think that if it does wind up working, in the odd case that it does, what
Yeah.
if they had local co-op? Like someone else with a phone and the game to like download it, you could play with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That could be
that would
kind of
be
nifty.
amazing. Yeah.
But
Yep.
I'm going to assume that by your dejectedness and put offness, that you're actually going to play this game.
Oh, I'm going to play it, Doc. I can't not play it. I can't not play it. It has the word mana in it. I have to play it.
Yeah.
It just I can't not, and I'm going to cry the entire time. I'm already crying now, Doc. I'm getting verklempt. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm getting I don't know.
I've already worked it completely out of my system. I've become a horrible shell of a man because of what Capcom has done to me over the
Oh
years.
boy.
And then they called me back. They said, Breath of Fire 6, play it. And I looked at it, and it said, free to play, social, blah, 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 blah. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe there's redeeming qualities. No Ryu, no Nina. I didn't even see a dragon. Go fuck yourself, Capcom, with a rusty rake.
I
Just
don't
sit down on the sharp end and spin, assholes.
I don't understand why everyone's so big on the mobile in-app purchase game. It's there were lots of people who want a new Mana game. There were so many people who want a new Mana game. Why don't they just come out with one on the 3DS? It doesn't cost as much to make a game on the 3DS. It wouldn't be as risky. And freaking RPGs on the 3DS sell like, I don't know, condoms in a whorehouse. It's just, wow, that was a really vulgar reference.
Just a little bit. You're becoming like me. I'm a terrible
I'm
influence
becoming
on you.
You're a terrible person. I'm just angry. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm angry and angry.
Yes. Succumb to the hate. Rah, 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 rah.
Come to the dark side.
I can't even say that you're following in my footsteps because I'm usually the non-pessimistic one of the both of us.
Yeah, I know. But let's be honest. The series has hurt us before. And Square Enix, it does not have the best track record right now. So
It's better than it's been.
go
You
on.
want to ask me the same thing 5 years ago? I would have told you to. I would have told you where you could put it. But as of recently, like Bravely
They've
Default is charming and interesting enough that I have some faith in this game.
yeah, maybe, maybe, maybe.
Yeah, I'll play it,
Yeah,
and hopefully it's good.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
Um,
Because this podcast is pretty much your baby at this point.
Mine?
She's yours.
Well, then hire a babysitter. You cover things, stuff. Or do you just not have anything and are revamping right now?
Yeah. I don't know. I was gonna touch on because this is spoiler alert. We did a podcast recording and then nothing was happening and then all of a sudden a bunch of stuff happened, so we decided to record.
So we already talked about him getting super mad at Paladin's quest, so
And yet I'm still just as angry.
good.
Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time.
So bad.
So bad. Yeah.
Be-
There was Persona and then there was Mana stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
like how could we not?
Yeah, clearly.
Um Yeah, I mean we could talk about Irrational again, but
No,
I don't really
maybe.
think that's
I don't
worth
know.
mentioning, but just basically I think that a lot of people are like, oh well, it sucks to blah blah blah, and it does. It sucks that a bunch of people lost their jobs, but I think that gaming as a whole will benefit from it.
This is true.
Just because they're gonna be able to, be more closely, excuse me, closely
Closely?
closely
Closely.
together. I don't know.
A tighter
They're
knit.
gonna be-
They're going to be a tighter
Yeah,
knit dev
tighter net.
community.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And it's funny because I've been working on a game and I've experienced this. Like you tell somebody something, and you think that it's so clear in your head, and then, like the other person's like, "What are you even talking about?" And you're like, "No, how could you not? It's this," and they're like, I don't understand. What do you mean?" And then like they'll say something, and then you'll be like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." And so like I feel like that the more people you have, the worse that gets. Because when I'm making games by myself, which they never get done because I'm lazy. When I make games by myself, it's like, oh yeah, then I do this and this and that and then this and it's just like, I could like write down half sentences and I'm like, yep, I know exactly what I got to do with that now. But like when you put somebody else into it, it's just like it's a whole different ball game. And then like times that by like 200 people, and I'm just like,
That's
and Bioshock Infinite felt like that a bit.
that's also 200 people that all share. Like they might share something or something else with some of the other people on the team, but that's
Yeah.
200 very different individual people with
Yeah,
200
absolutely.
very different opinions.
Yeah, it's an inevitability with bigger games. You see it. A lot of these huge AAA games, they suffer from this. I don't know how to just triple A ness. Like it just the game isn't. It seems like the game should be so big and so great, but then it gets delayed and then there's problems and it's. I think it ultimately comes down to that. It's just that it's impossible to get that many people on the same page.
It's a bit like
And I think.
the summer blockbuster. Like if we're going to compare it to the film industry a little bit, it's a bit like comparing like, say the small independent film that hits in February and it's really really interesting as compared with the summer blockbuster that everyone goes to, but is ultimately
Yeah.
just Michael Bay jerking it on the screen.
Yep.
I'm gonna go there. Just there it is.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and so like, I think that that's the reason why Ken just got rid of the team was because he realized that, and he said it too. He wants to be close to the community. He wants to be all this stuff, and I think that like, really, that the main thing that Bioshock Infinite suffered from was having too large of a vision and not enough to back it up.
Yeah.
Like the game, I felt like the game felt the pressure to be this really awesome, over the top, amazing game, And like when I played the original Bioshock, I went into it and I was like, yeah, this is okay, you know. And then I played it and it felt humble, but at the same time it was so the experience was so good, you know.
Hmm.
It's hard to explain, but I think ultimately it comes down to experience, and it just suffers with a bigger team because of reasons.
Yeah, because it's more people that you have to actually micromanage as a
Yeah,
dev team instead of everyone working together. It's
and I
they
think
got to work on
that's
this, they got to work on that, and let's put
yeah,
it together and make it a thing.
and I think that's another thing too. Like I said, like I could not imagine my job not involving like doing some sort of actual like making something for the game, like just telling people what to do, like. And I feel like that's what Ken got into, and he's just like, no, that's not for me, man. I want to be hands on. And I think a lot of developers are like that too. Kenji Unifune,
Hmm.
he left because friggin' they wouldn't let, he was so high up they wouldn't let him make games anymore, and he's like, I don't I want to have hands on, you know.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in management. That's no fun.
they wanted to get rid of him, so they promoted him to a position that he could not work on things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Well, fuck that. I'm gonna make my own thing."
And then Mighty Number 9.
And before that,
Yeah.
Soul Sacrifice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have not yet
Man, I
had the
need a
chance to play
Vita.
that as the veto
Oh
person in the podcast. I haven't had the
yes.
chance to play into that too much, but god damn if it isn't an interesting idea.
Yeah. KJ, he knows what he's
He
doing.
does.
Mega Man X.
Mm,
What can I say?
mm,
Man knows. Man knows. What do you mean?
no, I'm just saying that, like, you know when you get that image of like a fresh baked apple pie?
Oh, okay.
That's Mega Man
You're
X.
like you're like. See, the key when you do that is go. So you have to go down a little bit. You were going up like and it was throwing me
Well,
off a little bit.
it's when the apple pie you want it more. Or like like a heated leather couch or something like that.
Like the couch,
Mm.
with the couch where like your really large friend has just got up to go to the bathroom, and you sit up down. And you're like, oh yes,
No, this
this is
is
it's a warm seat.
well, more like the couch with the giant fuzzy blanket on it.
Oh
Yes. Mega
yes,
Man X is a couch with a giant fuzzy blanket on it.
that then beats you over the face.
Yeah. Says you better learn how to use this couch. You put your ass here, not on the handrest, asshole.
And it doesn't give you annoying pop-ups telling you how to do it. It just kind of
You don't tuck the
just by the
blanket under your
positioning, you
shirt.
know. Yep.
And don't you dare eat Doritos on me.
Put those Cheetos away.
If I see even one puff orange dust,
Oh my goodness.
I'll get all
I think this
Spider
is
Boss up in your shit.
I think this is a part of the podcast where we start to lose it.
Lose it?
Just lose it,
Yeah.
our sanity.
Oh. No, mine was already gone.
Cohesiveness. Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't get
Yeah,
that memo.
I think. No.
Oh,
Hey, let me. No, still nothing.
no.
So there's nothing else you want to talk about?
Not really off the top of my head. I mean, we had a bunch to talk about, but I just got off of a shift where the first thing that someone said was, "Computer bark!" Oh, it was.
Are you good with computers? That's always a good day for
Oh,
me.
when you see that weird face and you're like, oh, something's good. And then they're just like, they ask you very nicely and very. It was. I feel bad for just yelling computer bork because it was still kind of working and they were trying to muddle through it the best they could, but oh dear Christ, was it fucked up. I just
Oh,
looked at it and my eyebrows had the danger of almost disappearing into the back of my head. They flew away into space. I'm like, no, what is this?
I don't understand. I don't see. I don't understand how
It's one of those
this
Amish
happens.
computer viruses.
But so every time my mom has had a laptop, at some point I've had to delete about 300 viruses off of it. I have no idea how she gets these viruses. And then one day, Doc, one day, I found out why. My mom showed me she showed me on Facebook this how our antivirus is going off, and she's like, "Well, I keep clicking it, and I downloaded the thing and I installed it like it told me to, but I don't think it's working." So she showed me it. It was an ad. It was one of those ads that are like, "You have a virus."
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
was like, "Mom, you didn't have a virus before, but now you do."
at least it's not Antivirus 2013.
Yeah.
That
Oh
that
my
shit gives
goodness.
me headaches for days.
Is that the one that like looks like the Windows thing?
Yeah, it pops like you install it and it acts like a normal antivirus, except
Yep.
it blocks everything. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh look, you can't do this. Click on this thing, and then it downloads more bullshit to it. I hate it
Yep.
so much. Oh, it's a pain
Mm-hmm.
in the ass to.
I think that's what my mom ended up downloading.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep. You know how I fixed that? I nuked her computer.
That's usually the course of action, or you
I
just
was just
do.
like, you know those documents you like so much? You don't get them anymore. You're done.
That's actually
I
probably
was
a
like,
better course of action because don't fuck up like this again. There's actual tangible
yep,
consequences to you
that's
being an
exactly
idiot on
what
the
it was
internet.
like. And now my dad's complaining about his laptop being slow because my mom doesn't have a
Oh,
laptop anymore.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
so I'm gonna have to go get some more plutonium. So that'll be
Oh.
fun.
So this has been another episode of the Tech Basement.
Yep.
um, actually, is there?
We will fix your computers.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what I do. Actually,
Yep.
don't come to me. If you know who I am, don't come to me with computer problems unless you are at the same time willing to actually compensate for my time a little
My
bit.
my absolute favorite thing in the world is like when you talk to somebody and you're like, "Oh yeah, have you tried restarting your computer?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course I did." And then the first thing you do is reset the computer and it works again. And you're like, "Huh, that's weird. It worked when I restarted it." And they're like, I don't know why that happened. I restarted it. I totally did that thing." I'm like, "That's why you won't make eye contact with me, and your face is slowly turning towards away from me." Mm-hmm.
I just
That's
go
because you did that.
if they do that to me, I just go on like they have said. Yeah, no, I didn't restart it. I just go on anyway because they know that they didn't themselves.
I know.
I was like, "Have you unplugged your router and plugged it back in?" "Yeah, I did that. Why?" Blah, blah, blah. And then I just go on like, "Well, usually
Humor
when you
me.
do this, it will clear everything out and restart it so that if there's a daemon that might have crashed in there, like maybe the
Yep.
entire wireless provider."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Lovely.
I could go on and on and
Speaking
on and on and on about this.
speaking of providers of things such as the internet,
Hmm.
did you hear about the horrible merger?
Time Warner and Comcast.
Why? Why?
Because at one point we said that monopolies were bad, and then
Yep,
companies decided that they ran the government instead of us. So
that's true. Yeah, I can see. It's ridiculous. Why would even I just Google Fiber save us?
please,
Oh, holy Google, who arts in California, save us.
Pavilion, New York, we
From
love you
this
long
terrible.
time. Give you big pizza.
That's about all that's out there, man. Pizza.
That's amazing, though.
It's yeah. They put chicken fingers on a pizza. And it's good times.
Mm.
Good times are had. Yeah, you're probably gonna be the last person on the face of the earth to get Google Fiber.
I don't know if they want chicken finger pizza. We might be the next ones.
Just bribe them.
It's a small, tight-knit community with chicken finger pizza, and then they just like throw their wallet at us and
They
wipe
just
out the entire
install.
town.
They just install Google Fiber for free.
They install it directly into your pizza.
It's so funny. Like I just imagine like these drones that just fly around and they just bloop 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 bloop, and then just wires come out, and then like Invader Zim style, your house is like connected to Google Fiber.
They just remind me of like the powdered toast man of the internet. They just show. Have you never seen Ren and Stimpy?
I haven't seen a lot of
Oh,
it.
you've never seen Powdered Toast Man?
Probably not.
Oh, it's like a little boy and he runs out of powdered toast. And there's just this guy who's drawn in the
Oh.
style of Ren and Stimpy that breaks the fucking wall down. He's like, let me just scrape it off my abs. There you go.
Dude, I've totally seen that. I have seen that. Oh my goodness.
And he winks like brown sugar.
You know what's funny about that? You said he scrapes it off his abs.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you in the original it was off his butt. Guarantee you 100%.
No, because they use that for the next bit where he just squats down and makes an awful farting noise and he like flies out the other wall. Powdered toast man. Actually, it might have been off his chin. I can't remember if it was abs or his chin. It was amazing though, regardless.
I love Ren and Stimpy, man. I should watch more of that.
Yes, you should.
Good times. Uh-oh. Oh, that's scary.
What's scary?
My computer froze for like a split second. Like it stopped the Audacity, like it stopped moving.
Oh.
On the recording, I was like, "Oh no, have we lost it all?" So before we do lose it all, we should probably end the podcast.
We should, yes. And by ending the podcast, I guess in our previous iteration, I had mentioned that you were meant to play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which actually isn't too overtly bad.
No.
Would you like to continue with that, or would you like to spin the wheel of garbage?
I'll be honest, I haven't started playing it, so I guess it's up to you.
Okay, well, you're going to continue playing it, because it's actually not too bad.
Okay, good.
Oh,
good. Oh.
I mean, granted, it does some really cool shit. And I genuinely love the game, so it's not as bad, not even remotely close to being as bad as Paladin's Quest. It's just that we got it instead of Final Fantasy V, so...
Yeah. Well, I've heard that it babies you a bit.
At some points, yeah. There are some genuinely difficult bosses, though.
Cool, I guess I'll play that then.
I genuinely love the game. The music is not done by Nobuo. It is done by somebody completely different who uses American rock at that particular point in time for inspiration.
Interesting.
For some parts, anyway. So the music is incredibly badass. The sprites are somewhat charming, but early Super Nintendo. And the battle system, I'll just let you go through it. It's a little bit like, I don't know, it was a little bit Pokemon-esque, I guess. Okay. In terms of being able to... Each thing has a type. Each person has weaknesses. Rather wonderful. I like it.
Alright, sounds promising, and not like a horrible time.
But it still deserves its place in Bad Game Corner. So, there you go.
Interesting. Great. I love this game. It is super cool. It deserves its place in the Bad Game Corner.
It does things that are poor.
Yeah.
The final boss can be killed in 2 hits.
Yeah, but so there's other games like that are good.
There's a bypass to it, that he can just be killed in 2 hits. It's retarded.
Lovely.
Yes.
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this episode.
Are we?
Yep.
You don't sound sure of yourself.
I'm very tired. It is past my time for bed.
It's only 11:47. Oh no, fourth wall being broken here.
No. Yeah, it's past the time. Like, this is the time when I just watch all of the YouTubes.
Oh.
And there's a new Jontron.
Yes.
Anyways, so we're going to end this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/megadinosaur. Or also youtube.com/megadinosaur. It's probably be in the description. You can just click it.
And
then
you can continue with what you were doing, I suppose.
What's that? No, I was and Doc.
And me. You can follow me on Twitter at PhDXNulz. That's XSNULZ. Or if you're trying to follow me through Paladin's Quest, that's FBXYZFN.
It literally took me about 3 seconds for that to work, and then like.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody. Pineapples.